Ladies and gentlemen, James Comey is willing and more than happy to testify against Andrew McCabe. McCabe is going to be indicted imminently. James Comey has stated with Jake Tapper on CNN he's willing to testify. Now, there are other people who are coming to Andrew McCabe's defense. This is hilarious. President Trump, his wonderful, amazing predecessor, a man I voted for twice when I was a lifelong Democrat. Now I will never, ever vote for any Democrat ever. Everything they've done to blame Russia for them cheating Bernie Sanders and shove the country into a new conflict with a former adversary under the guise or the pretext of fabricated intelligence reports that actually state warranty disclaimers, high confidence assessments, nothing certain. But you have an article on the Hill, former officials willing to testify on McCabe's behalf. McCabe is going to be indicted any day, any week. The indictments are imminent. Don't believe the attorneys, McCabe's attorneys, who they all conducted that public relations stunt the other day. Well, we asked the Justice Department to toss the case aside. And although they refused to, they haven't indicted our client. Well, why not? That means the case is in jeopardy, and only because of President Trump. It's Trump's fault. It's not the fact that McCabe's wife received hundreds of thousands, close to $700,000 from Terry McAuliffe and Democrats and Clinton allies in Virginia in order to compromise the top and one of the top FBI officials, actually the second in command under Comey, and then eventually the acting director. And this is why he leaked information about the Clinton Foundation probes to the Wall Street Journal. For self-serving purposes, he lied 3 times under oath about leaking information. Now, he stated, because he wanted to pretend he was fair and neutral like Debbie Wasserman, now he stated that James Comey allowed him this. And I've done these segments before, but just today there's a Hill article. Former Obama officials willing to testify on McCabe's behalf. Really? Okay, multiple former members have reportedly said they will testify on behalf of former FBI Director Andrew McCabe should he face trial. An analysis from McCabe's legal team obtained by Politico said officials including former President Obama's Chief of Staff Dennis McDonough and Homeland Security Advisor Lisa Monaco will be willing to back him in court. Who cares? This is irrelevant. Mr. McCabe has obtained commitments from more than a dozen former high-ranking officials. Who cares? So all of these people are willing to vouch for his integrity? Who cares? You could find, if you're in that position, you could find 10 or 20 people. Nixon could have found 100 people willing to testify on his good nature and wonderful personality and trustworthiness. It's not relevant whether you could find people in a corrupt intelligence community system. Who cares? He lied under oath because he was compromised. We have to hear about bias, implicit bias, explicit bias, uncover bias, subliminal bias, all these different types of biases, which are why people didn't vote for Clinton. Oh, well, you had so many things against Clinton because of who she was and and you didn't even know it. It was implicit. It was subconscious. It was subliminal bias. Meanwhile, if Peter Strzok says, we will stop Trump, that's just his opinion. It's just not going to be biased. If Andrew McCabe speaks about an insurance policy with Strzok, it's just not, no big deal. If Andrew McCabe's wife received $700,000, it doesn't matter if it was before or after her campaign. She received the money. She accepted the money. You're not going to prosecute the head of a political paradigm. He should have recused himself. He didn't recuse himself from the Clinton email investigation and also from the Russia probe. He failed to. It was an obvious conflict of interest that he didn't address. And then when he was caught with his pants down, so to speak, like most Democrats, figuratively and literally, What he did was he said, well, Trump is after me, and, I was given the authority to leak information to the Wall Street Journal. James Comey has stated he never gave the authority to McCabe. Never. So let's listen to this right here. This is Jake Tapper, and you can hear James Comey saying, so it doesn't matter how many people, someone is not telling the truth. When the FBI investigated, McCabe lied 3 times under oath. That is perjury. It's with intent to deceive because his wife received hundreds of thousands of dollars from Terry McAuliffe and Democratic Party loyalists in Virginia. The timing is irrelevant, just like the timing of Uranium One donations is irrelevant, because Democrats say, well, this is the way graft goes. Graft has to fall within a certain time frame, and if it doesn't, then it's not bribery or graft. It's like, no, you're wrong. Somebody can give you $20 and say, here, keep it, a year before they ask you for a favor. It's still kind of greasing the wheels to get you to help them out in the future. But here's Jake Tapper and James Comey saying I could be asked to testify. That's in the description section of all of my segments.
They ultimately bring a case against Andrew McCabe. Would you be a witness for the prosecution?
Potentially. I don't know whether the reporting is accurate. I know it's CNN reporting, but I don't know it of my own accord. But sure, given that the IG's report reflects interactions that Andy McCabe had with me and other FBI senior executives, I could well be a witness.
I could well be a witness, meaning I could testify against McCabe. Okay, you know that great O.J. song, Backstabbers? That great song? They're smiling in your face all the time. They want to take your place. Backstabbers. Great song. I don't even be home, but they keep on calling. Great song. That's the James Comey, Andrew McCabe song. They're all, turning on one another left and right. And now you have this, well, they're willing to testify on how great and wonderful McCabe is. Irrelevant. Completely and utterly irrelevant. And once the indictment hits, and then you get the IG report, or you get the IG report, then the indictment of McCabe, the dominoes fall. Because you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where all of this is an elaborate endeavor to set up and frame a duly elected president and oust this person. So before the Clinton email investigation, McCabe is compromised. His family receives close to $1 million from Democrats. Top FBI officials, their families, should not be able to receive any money from any political party. Sorry. Now, the notion that they wouldn't be compromised, but the American electorate is compromised because of bias against Clinton, that's nonsense. Democrats will claw and scratch and desperately hold on to any political influence they can, any power they can. They are not only duplicitous and disingenuous, there's like this maniacal attempt at grasping on to fleeting political influence. They don't have the executive branch. They don't have the Supreme Court. And it's because they cheated Bernie Sanders. The DNC emails exposed and shed a giant spotlight on all their criminality. And then instead of addressing the fact that, yeah, they committed a fraud. They deceived people into thinking that it would be a fair and neutral primary in 2016. And if I am the only person bringing this up on YouTube or in media or whatever, and then I'll be the only person. They cheated Bernie Sanders. Not that Bernie Sanders cares. What? You cheated me? No. I cheated. I had the audacity to actually try to run in 2016, not knowing that I was part of a Kremlin plot against poor Madam Secretary. So if anything, I cheated myself. And don't ever bring up the fact that Debbie Wasserman Schultz was forced to resign. That too was an example of misogyny. So, what they're doing against Andrew McCabe, who's a good young man, an upstanding FBI official who did not try to oust President Trump. What he tried to do was protect this nation from Russian interference that informed the country that I was cheated, when in reality, I cheated myself by having the audacity to even think of running. So you people who gave $200 million, you snooze, you lose. Okay? You should have known when you gave that money that no matter how hard you work, your hard-earned dollars were going to a good cause. Me pretending I could actually win, while at the same time covering up crimes committed against me and my voters, all because the Kremlin wanted you to know, therefore ipso facto, the money that was given was actually, well, no, it wasn't a fraud. Actually, you know what we should do? We should ensure that everyone gives double donation to my campaign this year. Because when Clinton runs, she's going to need every cent. I can go on forever. Look, Clinton is going to run again. 11 minutes in. You got to give me props on that. 11 minutes in. Andrew McCabe, he received hundreds of thousands of dollars from money sent to his wife's campaign from Clinton loyalist Alexander Downer, Australian diplomat, raised tens of millions of dollars for the Clinton Foundation. CrowdStrike, outsourced by Democrats, just happened to say that the Russians hacked the DNC, but not Clinton's server, because we wouldn't want that. The Russians are not smart enough, the Kremlin is not smart enough to understand, to hack an unencrypted servers outside of the United States government. So even if Michael Hayden, of all people, says, oh yeah, Michael Hayden, former Intel chief, stated that everyone on the planet infiltrated Clinton's server, but, they didn't do that. The Russians would never hack a server with top secret and special access program intelligence that had information on the intelligence community and identities of operatives abroad. No. They would actually only focus on the DNC emails to inform the country of all the horrible things taking place within the DNC, which made Debbie Wasserman Schultz resign. But all of it actually gave Clinton the popular vote. Isn't that funny how that happens? Isn't it funny how that happens? And you have a situation where it's like nobody puts two and two together. Nobody puts two and two together. They're so stuck and they're so caught up in the fact that they lost the election. They're so caught up in the fact they lost the election that they can't. To them, it's like, the end of time, like the end of their existence. And they have to explain, why it took place. It wasn't our fault. It wasn't that we were cheating Bernie Sanders. It wasn't that there is no Democratic Party. It's just an extension of two people, Bill and Hillary. No. It was the Russians, because they were so afraid of Hillary. When they were funneling money to operatives under a racketeering scandal on U.S. soil while Bob Mueller was FBI director. Oh, that was just, they were so afraid. They're not afraid. Bill Clinton met with Vladimir Putin at his home to speak about golf, Brexit, and grandchildren. Oh, that was Loretta Lynch. And then we have the 10 Pinocchios, or the 4 Pinocchios from the Washington Post. Where were they fact-checking President Obama's administration or Hillary Clinton's never-ending deception? Oh, it was a security review. Oh, it's a convenience. Oh, my yoga. I was doing yoga. Loretta Lynch was speaking about golf, Brexit, and grandchildren. Come on. President Obama didn't know. Nobody knew anything. You're talking about a president who drank Flint water and deceived people while the water was poisonous. President Obama drank Flint water. Now, then we have to be lectured about systemic, oh my God, the systemic racism, It's like, if Trump drank Flint water and tried to deceive people into thinking it was safe, what would you say then? What kind of lofty political theory would you espouse? Oh, but it was President Obama. So it's okay if it's a Democrat. Because if a Democrat does something, suddenly the political theories don't apply. But if it's everyone else, it's just you have to understand, you have to realize the ingrained bias you have. What about when Peter Strzok said, we will stop Trump from being elected? No. It was political chatter. It was political chatter. She hasn't run yet, H.A. I guess you were wrong. It's like, why would she need to run now? If she ran before all of this, like I said this would take place, there are now hit pieces on Biden. People are petrified that Biden will be the nominee, because he won't. All of this was done for the purpose of upholding one political paradigm. That's it. One political paradigm. And when it takes place, you will see, when people are presented with the reality that Clinton is running again, and all of your concepts of decency and normality, just like the movie People Against Goodness and Normality with Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks, great movie. You'll be forced to realize that what I've been saying since 2015 was right. Even though everything I was saying on 2015, it stands today. There is no Democratic Party. And yes, Clinton is unelectable. She's not going to win, but they're going to raise $2 billion plus. Media will make a fortune. It will be a money-making endeavor for all of media. Division, divisiveness, chaos, all of that stuff, political turmoil, it'll all be part. You will wish you had 2016. And then when Clinton loses again, it'll be someone's fault. It won't be hers. And she'll run in 2024. And then she'll lose again. She'll run in 2028. And then you'll say she's not running in 2032, HA. And I'll say she's running. And she'll run. And then you'll be like, what's going on? And I'll be telling you, should have listened to me in 2015. She wouldn't do that again. The DNC wouldn't do that again. Yeah, they would. They don't exist. It's an extension of two people. Well, President Obama won twice. Yeah, it didn't become an extension of two people until after she lost, the Clinton Foundation, she became Secretary of State, those donations increased exponentially. Then the people who gave donations were given beneficial treatment. UBS, Boeing, weapons deals, countries that Democrats pretend to dislike now, were giving the same weapons deals. Haiti, Uranium One. We can go on forever. Everyone who gave 85 donors giving $156 billion. Everyone who gave money got beneficial treatment. And everyone who received money suddenly, like McCabe, didn't really want to investigate. And actually worked against Trump, her political opponent, direct political opponent. The politicized government was used against Trump, not the other way around. Everything they accuse Trump of, they are guilty. The projection is unbelievable. Give me your thoughts below. McCabe is going to be indicted. The thing here is that William Barr is open to... He's open to utilizing McCabe's... to utilizing Comey's testimony. The problem is Comey has his own legal issues. Let's listen to this again.
They ultimately bring a case against Andrew McCabe. Would you be a witness for the prosecution?
Potentially. I don't know whether the reporting is accurate. I know it's CNN reporting, but I don't know it of my own accord. But sure, given that the IG's report reflects interactions that Andy McCabe had with me and other FBI senior executives, I could well be a witness. You express a lot of horror in the book when public officials or even celebrities lie to investigators, whether David Petraeus or...
This is hilarious. So you notice that Comey is like the salt of the earth guy. He's like, oh, I really don't like it when people don't tell the truth. Meanwhile, he's not only being insubordinate, but he's doing everything he claims to dislike. Comey is... You're talking about Democrats embracing vipers and cobras and scorpions and the nastiest, most vile creatures, and they're embracing them. and they're just, cozying up and jumping in bed with them. And they think that, well, this is the way the game is played. Republicans do the same thing. No, Republicans don't. They can't do the same thing. They don't have the media by their side. See, as corrupt as Republicans are, they're still not as corrupt as Democrats. Not by a long shot. Where is the hundreds of thousands of dollars Republicans give to an FBI agent, his FBI agent's spouse, who then suddenly goes after Clinton? Where's that scenario? Where's the Steele dossier purchased by Trump that says the golden muumuu enjoys bodily fluids raining down upon her? Enjoy the visual. It doesn't happen. Yeah, there's a reason it doesn't happen. Give me your thoughts below. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel right this second. It's going down, people. Clinton's going to run. McCabe's going to get indicted. We're going to have a repeat of 2016. It's going to be even more amusing. Give me your thoughts. Thank you so very much. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel. If you enjoy sports, I'm waiting to grow that channel. I have H.A. Goodman Sports up, waiting until at least it gets to a couple thousand before I do my first segment. Thank you.